All right, we're getting into the juicy part of the show. This next guy can only be described by one word: character. And I'm probably going to have to give him the hook when he gets up here, because he will talk and tell you stories until the sun comes up. But one of the most amazing surf photographers from the East Coast. And let me introduce Kevin Welsh over here. Now, this is East Coast Hall of Fame. There's a lot of photographers that come out of the East Coast, but Kevin has dedicated himself to covering East Coast surfers. He made 13 videos in 14 years. All East Coast surfers around the world. He took them to Hawaii, his favorite place. He would go and hang out on the North Shore and only cover East Coast surfers. Phenomenal. The things that he started is mind-boggling. Today, videos and still photography are synonymous. He was the first one to mount two cameras next to each other, a video camera and a still camera. And when people would ask him what that was all about, he said, "Oh, it's a pain in the ass. It doesn't, I got to do this, I got to do that." He was covering his tracks. He had the most innovative system in photography at the time. Kevin Welsh. What an amazing guy. He did such amazing things as he was the one that named Ollie's Point in Costa Rica. Did you know that? Where to begin with? The Welsh out over here. Went to Costa Rica and they filmed out there, and okay, shut that damn thing off. Who's Kevin, check this out. Check that. Who's that little scrawny kid? Can't even imagine. Talk about the scrawny kid. One of his most memorable moments was his first wave. In his first movie, his first video, was a slow motion of Kelly dropping into a sick double-up pit at Pipeline. And it was that wave that Kelly Slater decided to, he talked about it in his book, Pipe Dreams. He said it made him feel like he might actually be able to make a career out of pro surfing. Kevin Welsh did that for Kelly. Think about that. Kevin's had one of his favorite things and one of his accomplishments was a cover shot of Kelly Robb at Off the Wall in the Surfer magazine. East Coast surf photographer. Cover shot, great stuff. He got a spread year after year. Peter Mendia, another East Coast powerhouse from Palm Beach County, in Surfer magazine, double-page spread. Kevin Welsh. He was photo editor at Wave Rider magazine. Didn't last very long. That magazine was kind of a bunch of crazy people running that thing. He was sales rep. Kevin, he's a guy that can make money. He'll figure it out. He was selling lenses. He sold precision Century lenses. That's the best lens to shoot surf photography back in the 70s and 80s. He was a sales rep. Why does that? Because he probably got his lenses at a very good rate. Kevin can be counted on to find a good deal. Then he worked as a clam digger. This guy was a professional clammer right here in Brevard County, or over there in Brevard County. Talk about hard work. He kind of beefed up. He was looking pretty buff back then. But as a clam digger, he worked his way through the mid-'80s and gave him a lot of time. The money he was making, he was doing pretty good. He was traveling and shooting as a freelancer. He didn't have a boss. And then became advertising director at Swell Magazine. He discovered he had a knack for selling things, particularly advertising. Look at this photo. That's a mugshot if I've ever seen one. He's one of the first photographers. This is a note he wrote to me, so I'm not, we're going to hang this on him. He's the first surf photographer to shoot reef models, instigating their campaign for luscious butt shots. So we can thank Kevin Welsh for the reef campaign. Yeah, that's huge. His favorite surfers to shoot was that Kelly Slater kid, Matt Keckley, Pat Mulhern, Charlie Kuhn, Barron, I'm drawing a blank here, but Barron from Palm Beach is just a phenomenal. Barron Knowlton, thanks Pat. Hewitson, Brian Hewitson, and he put Barron again. He put Barron twice. And Adam Wickwire. His favorite location was the North Shore of Hawaii, Barbados, Puerto Rico, Bridges, Virgin Islands, Outer Banks, Sebastian Inlet. He now makes his living as a yacht broker. And just a little commercial advice. If you're feeling like you need that yacht, Kevin Welsh, he's the guy. He's put that advertising gig that he's got for Surfer Magazine on the back burner, but he can sell you a yacht and get you out there. Ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite guys, Kevin Welsh.
Oh, well, I got to hide this, huh? Wow, this is quite an honor. Thank you so much, Hunter. I'm glad this is happening now instead of a couple of weeks ago, because I had a really bad cold during the holidays, all relatives visiting and stuff, and doctor said I had a little touch of the bird flu, but I ain't buying that. Well, I'm really not too much into big audiences. I kind of keep it small. But my publisher friend here, Jeremy Schluntz, advised me about a week ago. He says, just come out with a Welshie line in the front, hit them hard, break the ice, then just make believe that everyone in the audience is naked. And so at this time, if all the women could move to the front of the stage, and all the men, I heard there's a keg party in Sean Slater's Vulcan bus out in the parking lot right now, and anyone interested in that, then we'll keep you posted later. All right, now I'll get serious here. I'm always serious. My career began back in probably the mid-'70s, shooting photography up in Cocoa Beach, Cape Canaveral area, Merritt Island High School, shooting the Cocoa Beach guys, Keck, Speedy right here, and all my buddies. And we'd always group together and do a slideshow over at Speedy's house, set up the sheet, everybody come out, and it was a good camaraderie of, good spirit of surfers and stuff. But my first published photo was not a surfing photo, although it was in a surf magazine. It was in Wave Rider magazine. That guy right over there, Rob McGrath, you know it. He was the art director, and John and Gunnar Griffin. I owe those guys gratitude for hiring me there. But it's before I got hired as photo editor. But I dropped off photos of a Canaveral Pier contest, and there was a photo that ran. That wasn't a surf shot. It was a girl in a bikini, drinking a beer. She saw me with the camera, and she said, "Hey, Mr. Cameraman, here." And she lifted her shirt, and she exposed her boob. And they ran the photo in the mag, and I was like, don't do it, don't. My mom's gonna kill me. Don't. My dad will give me the high five, but mom will be so upset, don't do it. So Rob just wrote a photo credit, flash photo. But that was the actual start of my career, and I thought it was gonna go on from that into a different industry, but that didn't really happen. So I'm stuck with these three guys behind me and the rest of you guys out there. And so it's been a good ride. The sequence of my history was I got hired about a year later at Wave Rider magazine as a photo editor. And back in those days, a little bit of history with desktop. It's prior to desktop publishing. So no scanning, was making black and white prints off slides in the dark room, late hours, making the prints and doing color seps, sending them out, getting the typesetting done, and it's so much easier now. At the end of Wave Rider is when desktop publishing came out, but that man right there was a very hard working man. He taught me how to work 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. Rob McGrath, the man, he flew in from Boston. He's a big art director there. But from Wave Rider, we went to US Surf Magazine. We did that, Carol Holland, Rob and I. That was really cool. The office was right across the street from Islander Hut in Cocoa Beach. And all the Groms would, get off school and they'd go surf in Islander Hut, and they'd hop into our office, and the kids would be, Sean, Kelly, and Todd, and they'd be dripping nasal drips over slides, and I'm like, whoa, these guys are going to kill me. You're going to ruin it. But it was really kind of cool being right in the middle of that stuff and watching these guys kind of growing up and documenting it. And you see that shot of Kelly. Hey, on another note, that's Catri's boat coming in while Will Mojado is getting stuffed in a barrel at First Peak. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, from U.S. Surf, when we got caught in that recession of the 80s, I went clamming, man. My brother's Chris right here, and my brother Tommy, Welsh Seafoods. We were the first ones to ship clams out of Melbourne and up north and stuff, and that was paid really well. Cashola. Nobody works for the IRS, do they? No, but I didn't say that. Rewind that back, Mitch, and But anyways, after doing that for a while and traveling, doing a few assignments for Surfer and stuff, Tom Dugan called me and said, hey, I'm up in Jacksonville, been working on a mag and Swell magazine. I hopped on board with those guys, and that was cool. Curtis Loftus, another great artist. We did that magazine for about 2 years. Then I got hired. I got a call from Paul Holmes, who was the editor of Surfer magazine, and Steve Pesman. They said, we want you on board, kid. Let's do it. And that was 21 years ago, and I'm still with these guys. And Surfer magazine, I can't say enough gratitude for that publication, the Bible of the sport. One thing I want to say about the magazines, now it's like there's so much, the internet. The internet's great. I'm as guilty as everyone. I'm always on it with my business as a yacht broker now, and also with the advertising for Surfer Mag and whatever. I'm always on there and doing the Facebook thing and all, but you really can't replace having a magazine, the hard copy, a material piece where you got the front cover, you got the back cover. It's all... That information highway is really cool and all, but it's so easy with the internet to kind of hit a link, then all of a sudden you're over here, and then you're off over here, and you're way out there somewhere. It's just an overload. But still, those magazines, you're encapsulated from that front cover to the back cover, and you're just drawn in, and it's like all, everything that's in there is, it's not going to throw you out anywhere. And I still, love the magazine. I think magazines will still be around forever. So, anyway, in '91, right, soon after I worked for Surfer, took on the job in '91 or so, for Surfer magazine with Pez and stuff. I was encouraged by, I did a natural art contest with Pete Dooley. We set up the first pro contest in Barbados, in the town of Bathsheba. I love that place. It's where I proposed to my wife. But anyways, I did I wanted to get into video because I saw Ira Opper put together the production we did for the Natural Art Pro-Am contest that was aired on ESPN, Hot Tropical Nights, Surfer video magazine back then. And so just from seeing all that, how Ira got the whole crew together and did the whole piece, I wanted to get into that. So I bought my first video camera, a Canon L1 high-8 video camera. Started shooting. Right after I bought it, it was perfect timing. The Halloween swell, like less than a month later, boom, the Halloween swell in '91 happened. So I'm on the third floor of the Ramada Inn in Satellite Beach shooting like 15-foot waves, Hartley riding a 9.1, Keckley out on his 8.0, Kuhn getting a ride for over a minute. It was amazing. And it was cool back then, It just, right after that, the Halloween swell, I then went to Hawaii for my first time in '91. And it was cool because Kelly was in there. He was there surfing his first Pipe Masters. And that one wave that Hunter was talking about, you guys, it was the first wave. I ran it slow motion, dynamic tracking, my opening wave of my first video. And it shows Kelly just dropping in this big double up left at pipe. And he just dropped in, he's like this, he does the bottom turn, pulls in, and just totally big double up cave, and I'm like, oh no, I'm sitting next to Keck on the beach, and it's all packed, and it collapsed on him, and then all of a sudden, big spit, and Kelly came out, and he flies out the back, and we were like, yeah! And that's the wave that he wrote about in Pipe Dreams, and that kind of meant a lot to me, too, when he mentioned that wave. And the following second wave was Todd Holland. He was another Charger, and they grew up together, you know, right there at the Islander hut in Cocoa Beach. So that was pretty cool. But anyways, yeah, it ended up being, I did 13 videos in 14 years. I missed 1 year in '04. Instead of editing in my back cave, I was boarding up my house and running for my life because of the hurricanes. But anyways, is that Hunter down there? Yeah. Ooh, Hunter. But anyways, I just want to say special thanks to Surfer Magazine, Hunter Jocelyn, Indo Board, Pete Dooley, I owe you a lot, buddy, Natural Art. Love You, Les and Joan at WRV, all the surf shops that supported my videos on the East Coast, all the surfers, because if you don't have the good surfers, good talent, you're done, man. God bless my mom and dad. Thank you for being so supportive with what I'm doing. And my wife and first mate, Cindy, I love you. You're the best. And that's about it. Thank you so much. And Yancey Spencer, who is my inner light. Buddy, I talk to you all the time, bro. Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I just got a phone call from Mitch Kaufman saying, come on, let's move on. Take that. Like I said, he's got great stuff to say. If you have a chance, engage him. He'll blow your mind with the stories he's got. He's been around the block.